Hey, how you guys doing here? Ricardo here. Just trying to figure out my life right now, and um, yeah, a lot of things are going on, or maybe nothing's going on. You probably like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I know, but it's just like I feel like energetically, I'm getting close to my dreams and my wants. I feel like, like when they say, feel like you're having it right now. Where you want to be or what do you want to have? I feel that. From time to time, sometimes it's not there, but usually from time to time, I feel that. And right now, I'm just kind of like in a stuck phase, I guess you should say. You could say, just kind of like I know where I want to be. Um, I mean, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Some stuff I'm sure, but not totally sure. But it's just not here yet. And the problem there lies is, I live with my parents, and that's not really the problem. It's just that their perception of me, where I am in my life right now, and they don't really believe that I can get to my future. They think that the things I'm doing and the way that I'm behaving and the way that I am is not going to lead to a good future. And it's not that I'm doing anything bad. I'm not, but they just can't see. They can't see my potential. And for me, I feel my potential is sky high. To be honest with you, I mean, which is a good thing. It's better than not, But and it's not coming from a space of just like an ego, like oh my God, I'm so high and mighty, I'm so great and everything. I'm not saying that I'm not great. We're all great, but at the same time, I just feel it in my core. And the decisions that I make, I make good, soulful decisions where I follow my whole heart, my soul. I don't do things which I feel is not going to lead to a good path for me in the future. So, and I give up pleasure for the future. I stop indulging in the things that gave me pleasure in now moment, which would not lead to a good future, and I can see those things not working out, so I let those things go. And it's very difficult because right now on the planet, living on planet Earth, everything is slow and takes time, and so that's one of the things that bothers me because I want instant manifestation, not because I think it should be that way or I think that's what I need or that how it should be. It's just that I feel like I can have it now, so I feel like it should be coming now. You see what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't correlate. It's like okay, you feel like you should have it, you feel like you want it, but it's not here yet, and who knows when it's going to come? Um, so there it lies, and that brings the impatience and there's just a frustration that I have right now. It's just like I'm not where I want to be, and everything's just moving slowly for me. And plus, I'm having problems with family. Kind of just like not sure if I'm really on the right path or not, and that makes me think maybe I'm not doing the right thing. But at the same time, I don't even need to think that because I mean I think it, but it doesn't bother me because I feel happy. I feel like I've done the best that I could for every day. I feel like the decisions that I make are helping me in my life, and I feel that I'm striving and living to live a better life. And but they don't see that. And that's the thing. Like if you feel something, nobody else is going to feel the same thing. And that's one weakness of the physical dimension. Um, but at the same time, I like that. Because if everyone could feel what I could feel, then it's going to be like it makes me it makes me feel that I like kind of like a spectator kind of. What I mean by that is like, for example, like obviously no one can feel what you're feeling. So for me, it's like okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna do me. Like okay, like, you can't feel what I'm feeling. Okay, sure. I'm just gonna focus on me. Like that's it. But if everyone can feel what I'm feeling, then I'm just gonna be like, okay, they can feel what I feel right now. So let me hold back. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just me, but then that's the weakness. Yeah, they can't feel what I'm feeling. So it's like, well, damn. Like I'm trying to do best I can. I feel like I'm going on the right path. I'm focusing on me. I'm putting myself in the right position, but yet I'm still getting opposition from my family and from people sometimes. And well, not really some people, mostly my family, but and it just doesn't feel good. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with living with your family. I feel like that's a good thing. Obviously, eventually you're gonna have to get your own place and do your own thing, which is I'm working on, and um, I don't really have a solid plan for that. But all I have is faith and trust. That's on the universe. That's all I have, and um, even if I don't get there, I feel like I did the best that I could. Maybe there are some things that I could probably do better in my spiritual awakening journey, but I feel like the past 10 years of my spiritual awakening, I did the best that I could. Maybe probably a couple of things I probably could have tweaked and done better, but other than that, I feel like I did the best. And I laid it all in the line. I put all my heart out, you know. Yeah, I just tried to do the best. And I think my spiritual awakening was kind of a little bit different. The reason why I say that, I kind of spurred the spiritual awakening, and it was when I was doing college. I think I shared the story before, but when I was doing college, I took a psychology class, and that really just opened my eyes in terms of mental health and just diagnosis and just anxiety, depression, all those stuff, autism, everything. And that made me do some research, and I was like, I have some of these remedies. I have um, some of these causes, some of these symptoms. I have them. And obviously during that time, I didn't really know if I had it completely or not, but it felt like I had those things. And so I began doing work, researching, just looking up stuff, and then I fell into meditation. Well, the thing about meditation is that I always felt like meditation was a good thing. I watch movies and stuff. They were like, "Oh, meditate," or Bruce Lee, meditation. So I always was kind of like, "Oh, that's a good thing," but I never really practiced it. Which is kind of weird until that spiritual awakening, to that psychology class. Then I started meditating, and that really changed everything. And I feel like that spurred my spiritual awakening. And now, 10 years later, I just feel that. What do I feel? I feel that my spiritual awakening took too long. As I'm still going through the spiritual awakening, it's like, bro, like Aaron Dowdy finished his in 5 years and manifested his dream life. Why is mine 10 years and I still have not manifested what I want to manifest? And so that always gets me. That eats me up in the inside. Because it's like I feel that I did the best that I could, but at the same time, I had my parents, and they kind of spurred my spiritual awakening to different points and kind of made it a lot longer than it should be. And I'm not really blaming them that much, well, a little bit, but it's not really blaming. It's just kind of cause and effect. If you do this, if you send somebody here, is there's going to be an effect for that. And I really didn't think that they felt through about the effects that you have in my life. They focus on too much on the cause instead of the effect. So, what did that make sense? Focus. Yeah. So, they focused too much on what was going on instead of trying to understand the bigger picture. So life is very difficult. I just got to say that right up front. I think everybody knows that, but I remember when I was doing a spiritual awakening, and I was like, I want life to be harder. Life is too easy, and then all of a sudden now I'm just like, why did I say that? Like this is hard, bro. Like life is very difficult because on one hand you can try to do the best that you can do, but on the other hand you actually be making it worse because you're not making the right decisions. And I feel like my family, especially my dad, did that for me in my life because he put me in a lot of situations where in his mind he thought it would be working out for me, but in reality he just made it completely worse because of the circumstances that happened doing those things. And there's a lot of different things. I can probably go on a different video of what happened, but basically it's just different places, and and I just thought that I got really mad at him just really, really, really mad. And I'm still kind of a little bit mad, but I've let a lot of it go because I realized um, that right now is prioritizing me and prioritizing living my dream life. That's more important than my anger towards my dad. Because if I'm living a good life, then he'll be happy and he won't be trying to interfere with my life. But yeah, I had a lot of anger and resentment for my dad, because the things that he did for me in my life during my spiritual awakening process, even before the spiritual awakening too. But before I kind of let that go, he didn't know any better. But the spiritual awakening process, I feel like that was a part for me to manifest, literally. Especially when I dropped out of college, I was ready to manifest. I was doing entrepreneurial things. I just didn't have the capital to invest and to work on those things and to actually try to become an entrepreneur. And then my dad took me to different places, and I had to do those things, and I learned from bad people, pretty much. And then that led me to doing bad things, and he correlated those bad things to me making those bad things. Sure, I did it, but at the same time, you put me in a position, like, because we're humans, we're social species, and whatever your environment is, that's what you're gonna become. Like, there's no way around it. Like, you can't. I always thought that I was like so great. You can put me in an environment and I'll still be me. I'm not gonna, do bad things. But that's a damn lie. Like, whatever your environment you live in or you're at, that's who you're gonna become, guaranteed. For one example, I was at the bus a couple of days ago, and I got off the bus, and sometimes I do that. I just take a ride to the transit center and come back home. And I was waiting on the bus, and I saw two females coming. They looked kind of cute, and I was like, "Oh shit, these two cute females." And then come to find out, they're using the N word, and then they're smoking weed and all this stuff. And then I found myself saying the N word to myself. Obviously, I mean, it's not like I wanted to do it, but it's just like they were saying it so much that. And another example, that there's a guy at the transit center, a different one, playing music, saying the N word. And that got me thinking about saying the N word. You see what I'm saying? So, whatever your environment is, that's who you become. You can't escape it. Like, you can't say, oh, if I put this person, I'm trying to do something good, I'm putting him here. Just because you put him there, you know, you're gonna interact with bad people. Like, for example, like, you're gonna interact with bad people. He put me in rehab, and so in his mind, he thought that was a good thing because I was smoking and drinking. But the thing about that, though, is just like, okay, like, you think that I dropped out of college because I was smoking and drinking, but I dropped out of college not because of that. I dropped out of college because of the people that I was around, because they didn't want to become entrepreneurs. They didn't want to benefit work of their life. They wanted to just stay in college and then drink and smoke. I mean, I did that too, but at the same time, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. So I focused my life towards that. And he took me to rehab. And I was very frustrated with him because I'm like, dude, like, I'm trying to become an entrepreneur. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to invest in things. Just help me out to ready invest. But he didn't want to do that. And he just thought that his way, he thought that that was a problem, that was my drinking and smoking. And the thing about it during that time, I wasn't even drinking and smoking that much. I had a job, door-to-door salesman. I was doing that, and I learned so much from it. I didn't get a lot of money because it's commission, not because it's commission, but because there was a lot of things that I needed to learn. I didn't get a lot of money from that, but yeah, he took me there and to rehab, and I learned it made me become even more of a drug addict because I hung around with drug addicts, which I wasn't supposed to be around, because I was supposed to be learning about life and learning about becoming an entrepreneur. And it probably doesn't make sense to you. Like, you're probably saying, okay, he brought you to rehab. That's a good thing. I mean, yeah, it sounds good, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that I picked up which were bad. For example, like drinking tea one time, there was a guy, he put two tea bags in one tea. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know you could do that. You know what I'm saying? And you probably like, oh, that's not a bad thing, but it became a bad thing. That's the one example. Became a bad thing because in the future, I started putting 3 T's in the tea bag. You see what I'm saying? Because I picked it up from him. If I didn't pick it up from him, I would have never thought of doing that. I would have stick to one thing, one tea. And that's too much tea. You see what I'm saying? That's one example. Let me give you another example. Um, let's see what else. Oh, actually, I'm trying to see another example. Oh, smoking cigarettes. That too. I picked up smoking cigarettes when I was homeless, but um, I saw people smoking cigarettes that made me a little bit more inclined to smoke cigarettes, for example. And I wasn't even really smoking cigarettes that much before then, you know. He took me to rehab twice. And the first time, I was really frustrated with him. And the second time, I was frustrated because he took me there and it was a place in Mississippi. First of all, I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyways, went there and then everyone was acting weird in the beginning. The first day, I was like, bro, you gotta get me out of here. This is not a place for me. He would not listen. And that place was a mess because like, I just like, I couldn't do it for that place, man. Like, it was just a hellhole. And I just felt like my whole life, everything was just so fast, so fast, so fast. Except for the spiritual awakening, it got a lot easier. It's slowed down a lot more, but everything was just so fast. And it seems like I'm kind of harping on my dad and kind of saying negative about him, but it's not really necessarily that. It's just he doesn't understand cause and effect. Like I said, I think a lot of people don't understand cause. They always focus on law of attraction, but really, cause and effect is one big main issue. And I'll give you an example. Cause and effect. Um, I used to watch a lot of movies and TV shows. Social media, actually. It's got that. Social. Let's talk about social media. Used to have Facebook, Instagram. I never really had Twitter, Snapchat. And usually when I'm on those, I mean, everybody on those, they always try to impress, try to, maybe not impress. Yeah, impress too, but try to, show people what they are, trying to show them a side of them that they're not completely. Anyways, I got off of social media. And when I was with social media, my focus was only on that. I couldn't focus on getting money or anything like that. So it's like cause social media, which causes me to focus on social media, not make a lot of money, and to try to impress people and show people that I'm a version of me that I'm not 100%. And that effect made me, you know, made me broke, made me not have a lot of friends, made me wish and wonder, and made me, you know, kind of feel that I'm not it. Anyways, I didn't really explain it that well, but cause and effect is real, and that's the one thing that people overlook. I think law of attraction gets too much chaos, gets too much hype. Because cause and effect is like you have to look at that, and um, I feel like the cause of my life, was I had autism, which basically means not fully into the physical dimension, which basically means you're half in and half out of the physical dimension, which basically means that you're not looking at the wrong angle. You're too high. You're not looking at the physical dimension is lower, but half in, half out, you're higher. So it's like what you're looking at is not the same plane. Because I'm telling you, like, what I mean by that is like it's totally different, and it's totally when you're half in and half out, and you're fully into the physical dimension. Your plane of its consciousness, existence is a lot different. So before I was too high. I'm not saying too high like off drugs or something. Just my viewpoint was too high, so I couldn't really understand the physical dimension. Even though I was living in the physical dimension, I wasn't completely in it. So the cost of that allowed my life to be a wreckage, because I focused on things which didn't produce a good life in a physical dimension. So I know that's kind of vague, but um, I'm just kind of like, whoa, like when is my life gonna get better? And to me, honestly, um, I don't really know. And to be honest with you, I don't really care. You know, you probably like, Rick, what do you mean you don't care? Yeah, I mean I care, but it's like right now to the point where I don't care. I've been through this spiritual awakening for 10 years. I've seen a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. Yeah, I've done a lot of things. And it's just like right now, like I feel like I try my best, and I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just like tired. Like just leave me alone. Like literally, that's the way that I feel. But I feel positive, optimistic about the future. Don't get me wrong about that. I feel like in my last video, I took life into my own hands. I had to get away from my parents, and what I mean by get away is not allow them to dictate me what I want to do in my life or where I want to go. Kind of like taking charge and doing what I want to do. No matter what they think I should do. You know. So, anyways, thank you for watching. This video went a little longer than I expected, but not that's not too bad. Hopefully, you got something from this video, but there's a lot of things I'm learning about life, and I'm just trying to stay dedicated to me, and hopefully everything works out. So thank you guys. Bye.